All right, welcome to another episode of Closers or Losers. As you know, when we use old school techniques that work against human behavior, we typically lose sales that we could be making, as all of you know watching us today. Now, every week we bring in a different guest, and sometimes we bring in guests who maybe have their own companies that can basically teach all of us listening their own niche and their own skills and their own experiences. And I'm happy to have today a very special person, Janice Porter. I'm going to give her an intro. And I was actually on Janice's show, I don't know, maybe a month ago or something, month and a half ago, something like that. And I was like, man, I'd really love to have her on my show as well with kind of what she does. It's kind of a unique, it's unique for business owners, for salespeople. And I'm like, salespeople could really use her expertise as well. So just to give you guys a background, she began her career as a teacher, which I love. Teachers always underpaid. They need to get paid more. She also was a corporate trainer for many years, and now she works with business owners and coaches and helps them network at a very world-class high level, even if they were doing well before. Her passion is working with motivated people who are coachable, who want to build their businesses through, this is important, relationship marketing and networking, offline and online. That's unique. And she helps her clients create retention strategies, grow their businesses and book a business through referrals, and create loyal customers and fans that repeatedly buy and then give referrals as well. Janice, I'm excited to have you on here today. And I love talking about human behavior and persuasion and how that applies to being a top entrepreneur, to being a top sales professional, even in the marketing. We're going to talk about LinkedIn and stuff like that as well. Let's do this. I want you to maybe dive right into your story and give our listeners maybe a feel, and just for a minute or two, about your background and how you arrived at this point in your life where you're a leading authority on business, marketing, and helping companies grow. Were you born out of your mother's womb with all these skills, or did you acquire them?
Well, interesting. I think I was that bossy kid. I always wanted to be the leader. And I knew that someday I would want to have my own business. I just didn't know how it was going to look.
Yeah.
And I did, though, do what was the thing to do in my day, which was to go to university, either be a teacher or a nurse or one of those things. And I always knew I wanted to teach. I just didn't fit well into the school system way of doing things. Yeah. I love teaching kids, but there's so much bureaucracy and politics that I couldn't handle. Yeah. And so I had an opportunity to leave, and I did. And then I got into corporate training, and that was another whole interesting episode of how things work in corporate.
Yeah.
And training adults is no different than teaching kids.
What caused you to get out of that corporate train environment and be like, hey, I'm going to take all of my expertise, all of my years of learning and knowledge, and I'm going to go help people in this niche? What went through your mind to get you to that point?
You know what? It was kind of decided for me, because I got crunched out of the corporate training piece because I was a contractor for 15 years. My own choice, because I was raising my child and didn't want to, be into that 9-to-5 thing. I could do it when I wanted, but I got squeezed out. And so then I really had to look at what was I going to do. And I knew I didn't want to go to a 9-to-5 job. So there was a lot of soul searching and a lot of testing and trying different things to become a business owner. So I got into the world of network marketing first, and you're familiar with that world. And
train a lot of people in that space too, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's an opportunity to grow personally as well, because definitely in that industry, there's a lot of personal development involved. And then it took me a while to find the right place for me. But as I did, it was the company that I'm with is all about a tool that people can use to grow their business, maintain their business. And make people feel good, spread the kindness, show appreciation, all of that good stuff, which was in my heart.
Yeah.
I'm heart-based. I can't help it. But then I was introduced to LinkedIn, and took me a while to learn that as well. But when I did, I went, oh my God, I could teach this to people, because now I can teach again.
Okay.
And then I put an umbrella over both of those things that I do as relationship marketing, which for me is not 80% marketing, it's 80% relationships, 20% marketing.
Tell us,
And so
tell us what you mean by relationship marketing. I think people have maybe a different idea of, one person. I think it's, in your mind, what does relationship marketing mean?
So exactly. For me, it's all about the relationships and building them, paying attention, remembering people's names, celebrating people, showing appreciation, and often, and by the way, having the space, the platforms of all the social media platforms, but I hang out mostly on LinkedIn and a little bit on Facebook and Instagram. You can find out things that people are celebrating. I just saw on Facebook a picture of one of those billboards in Times Square, and my girlfriend's picture with a friend of mine's picture was on it, with a group that had just taken some NASDAQ course and they were being celebrated. So I took that picture off Facebook, put it on the front of a card, and went, wow, this is amazing, and sent it to her.
Interesting. Okay. So you're building that relationship, right? So that's something like special and something unique. Why? Okay. So let's talk about that. So, I think with your tool that you're talking about, it's like the send out cards and probably more detailed than that. I mean, you have the knowledge there, but why is it so important in your mind that, let's say, even, because our audience, or, everybody listening to us right now is some type of salesperson. They're a salesperson, right, sales professional. Maybe they're a sales executive in their company, or they're in a leadership role, sales manager, VP, CSO, or they own the company. Okay. Maybe they're running, right, as well. So why is it so important with what you do and what you teach? How does that help them as a salesperson or a business owner really stand out from everybody that's trying to sell them that doesn't do that, in your mind? How does that help them stand out?
Well, it disrupts the pattern of things. If you send somebody, so let's say you're one of 5 people that have gone in to pitch something to somebody in a company, or a team of people in a company, and you do your thing and you leave. So what can you do to stand out from the crowd? Well, you could, even if you haven't even got the job, maybe you didn't get the sale or whatever, not the job, the sale. And do you send something, not an email, by the way, because they get lost in the crowd? Send a note, send a card, send a box of cookies to the team, whatever, and say, I really appreciated the opportunity to, spin to you. Sorry, we didn't get it this time. Maybe next time where we are, or thank you just for the opportunity.
So what you're saying is, whether you get the deal or not, or let's say it's in the review process. Let's say that you're in B2B sales, because that's really what we're talking about here. And you can also do this in B2C as well. But let's say that you're trying to win an account. You know that they're meeting with other companies as well. You could actually go in and meet with them and go through a presentation, even while they're in that decision-making process. You can still, whether you're getting the account or not, still send them something, is what you're suggesting, right?
Yeah, you're saying, thanks for your time. I appreciated the opportunity. And by the way, if you remembered everybody's name that was in the room, you want to make sure you comment on that, or you say something that shows that you were paying attention.
Yeah. Maybe tell us, I really like this angle, because I think a few salespeople have heard about this. I don't think 99.9% have actually done it, or done it well, or repeatedly keep doing it. Maybe they did it one-off type of thing with a big whale or something. So maybe give us a story, maybe for one of your clients, or maybe you, where you were in a sales situation and you sent something and it just wowed them, where you just completely stood out in their mind and they reached out. I'd love to hear that.
Well, you made me think of a story where it didn't happen, actually. First, if I can just share this little story with you. A friend of mine lives in Wisconsin. He has had, over a period of 15 years, bought and sold 3 homes because he was bettering himself. They were moving up the food chain, and he was buying a new, better home each time. And every time he did that, the 3 homes, he used a different realtor every single time. Why? Because the other ones didn't pay attention. They never stayed in touch.
Yeah,
so
they just sold them and threw it over their shoulder and went on to the next person, right?
they never put them on a
stand out.
No, they didn't. And then it makes me think of another story of I get all the time, I get emails or texts that say, Janice, you have no idea how that card, what a difference that card you sent made. It came just when it was supposed to, which is what happens. That's the law of, attraction, law of reciprocity, whatever. Stuff happens when it's supposed to. But I said before, I'm heart-centered. So I go from my gut. And so if somebody comes into my mind, I know they need to hear from me. So I will pick up my phone and use the app or send a card from my computer, and it sends a real card in the mail. Here's another, go ahead.
Do you believe in customizing the card? Let's say you're in a sales situation. It's an account. Let's say you're talking with even a company, let alone an individual. Let's say you're talking to a company, they're meeting with competitors. In your mind, maybe you could tell everybody, how do you actually take the app that you have and customize it and make it unique, where it's not just like a cookie cutter card, where they get a card and it's like, okay, everybody gets the same card. Because we get those here at 7th Level. But then when like our clients sometimes will send us customized letters and stuff like that. And we feel like really loyal to them. Do you know what I mean? Like, we owe them something now. So how do you customize that to make sure it's so unique to that individual?
Different ways, but the most interesting thing is, and I'd be interested to know when you receive your card from me that I just sent you. But most importantly, like if you go to a company, take a picture when you're there, take a picture on your phone of, whatever it is that you're supposed to be, dealing with, or more importantly, the people in the room, because people that get cards with pictures of themselves on them, don't throw them away, just so you know.
That's true.
Because what happens, often salespeople want to put their stuff on the front of the card. No. It's all about the person you're sending it to. You can brand the card on the back with your information, like a business card. Or, by the way, if it's their birthday and you're sending someone a card, don't put your business card image on the back. Put a birthday greeting or balloons or something. Okay. Don't differentiate between a thank you card and a sales asking for a referral kind of card.
So here's a question. Let's say you're meeting in a boardroom. Okay. You're through a sales process. You're meeting with 4 or 5 decision makers. Would you try to take a picture with them when you're in there? Or would you take a picture just of them and then put it on the card and send it? What would you say?
So I'm not sure. It depends on the situation, because to be honest, I haven't been in that formal a situation for a long time, but I would do one of 2 things. I would grab pictures off LinkedIn and maybe put their picture on the front saying celebrating you or thank you or whatever, but their pictures on the front. And I might do that. And if it was a friendly kind of situation, I might say, hey, you may think I'm crazy, but can I just get a picture of everybody? I'm a card sender, just, whatever. And then they'll get it and they'll get it. They'll certainly see it. There was another story that just came to mind, and this is a insurance guy. This guy's been in the insurance business, I think he was with Allstate or something forever. And one of my clients got a business letter from this insurance guy. It was like the annual, insurance letter. And my friend and they've been friends for all that time, 30 years. So my friend who is in my company, he's a client of mine, he took this letter and he went to the guy's office and he put it on his desk and he said, Hugh, is this letter from you? And the guy said, well, it's from the company. The company sends it out. And he says, does it have your name on the bottom? And it's signed, by him. He said, well, yeah, but the company does it.
Yeah.
And he said, right. Okay. He said, and what my friend had done is created a card instead to show him the difference. And he knows this guy, Hugh, coaches a middle school girls basketball team, and they just won the championship.
Yeah.
So instead of sending that letter, why not send, like, to another business guy in the same situation? Picture of the team was on the front of the card. On the inside, he said, congratulations on you and your team, good stuff, and sent a box of brownies for the team.
Something special. So even, I think as a salesperson, depending on the situation, if you're joking and having a good time, maybe you take a selfie with a couple of their decision makers. That might happen sometimes. It depends on how formal the company is, right? The meetings you've had with them. But let's say you can't get that. You can go to LinkedIn and you can get a maybe company picture of some of their executives, maybe the ones you met with, and put it on there. Say, hey, just wanted to let you know we really enjoyed the conversation we had the other day. We look forward to possibly working with you, or we look forward to possibly working with you if it's still going through a decision-making process. And so what you're saying is they take that picture, they're not going to throw a picture away of them and their team, and they're going to put that there. And psychologically, what do you think that does in their mind?
Well, it helps them remember you, right? They remember you. They remember you as doing that kindness for them. I have people I'm talking to, and they'll say to me, Janice, I've still got that card that you sent me, on my, by the way, if you send one of their kid, that's even better.
Yeah. Well, psychologically, what it does is it actually gives you, the salesperson or a business owner, a competitive advantage because you just stand out. You're different, and they feel like somewhat obligated to you. Now, if you do if you don't do a really, like, if your questioning is off, if you don't have the sales ability and skills, that's not going to match that. But if you learn the right sales ability, the right questioning skills, they view you as the expert, the trusted authority. And let's say there's a couple of other people, trying to win over the account as well, that are also pretty good. And then you do that, you stand out over everybody else, and they do feel somewhat obligated. I know when I get stuff like that from companies, I feel more obligated to possibly really consider doing business with them over somebody else that I don't have any of that from. It's not like 100% obligation where like I have to buy, but I feel there's definitely a step up of an obligation where I feel that, hey, if this fits into what we're looking for, and I've got this on my desk, like I feel more obligated to buy from them than I do a competing company where I didn't get that.
Well, I'm having trouble with the word obligated, though, because that feels a bit heavy.
Let me give you a different word. Instead of obligated, I would feel more loyal, if that makes sense.
Or more drawn to that. More
loyal to that, like more like, oh, they care about us. They're not just themselves. I don't want to say obligated, but I feel more like, let's say if I'm looking at two separate companies and they're basically about even with their sales process they took us through, what they can do, the results we can get from them, and then one of them does that, I'm going to feel more that company really cares about us than maybe the other.
Here's another quick story. A friend of mine who owned a props and equipment company in California in the movie industry, and they weren't the lowest price. There were like quite a few, they were like 27th on a list of 30 in their higher price than the others. And he got into this card sending thing, and he thought, oh, this is great. I can send cards to everybody and market my stuff that way. Zero, got nothing from it. And then went to listen to this thought leader who speaks to, the connections and the relationship marketing piece that is one of my mentors. And he had a light bulb moment, and he went back and he said, every time they went to a sales interview or did a quote for any of these companies where they were competing, he did the same thing I just talked about. Instead of sending a sales thing, he sent a thank you card for the opportunity, even when they didn't get the business, and their business just skyrocketed.
You're saying, even if they didn't get the business, they're sending or like, hey, we appreciate your time. Sorry, we couldn't help you. We're always, we're open if you'd like to talk to us again. Something like that. Not super salesy.
I had a real estate guy who said to me, I always want to be the number two. I always want to be the number two, because the number one always forgets, like the guy I told you about, that they forget to follow up. They take it for granted. So the number two comes in, you know?
I really like that. I think this is a really good concept that I think most salespeople, most companies don't do, or if they do, don't do well. What are a couple of mistakes, common mistakes you see companies and salespeople do when they have the idea you have, but they just don't execute it correctly?
One of them is, I mentioned, is about the card being all about them. It's they get 50 cards printed with their image on the front and all of that stuff. And they send
it's here's our company on the logo on the front with our company office. It's all cookie cutter. So it doesn't really make them the end.
But it's all about me. It's all about me. It's nothing about you. And then the other mistake that I see people make, and this is classic, because I know how I felt when I received this. So I got a Christmas card from somebody who I know very well. And inside this wasn't one of my send out cards, but this was just a handwritten card. And she had the obligatory Christmas letter in it as well about how wonderful their family had been over the last year. And then she had her business card in there. Don't mix business and pleasure. Don't mix a thank you card with a referral request.
Okay.
Right? I always say give, ask. So the ask might be, I appreciate you. I think of you. Do you think of me? Like, who do you think might,
Instead of putting the business card, because I think business cards are so overused now. Like, I don't even have business cards, just, like
I don't either.
I remember going to an event, a couple of weeks ago, and they're like, hey, do you have a business card? I'm like, no, but here's my cell number. Like, I'm like, business cards, like I think business cards, I don't think people use them as much as they used to. I really don't, especially
since use digital ones.
I think so. It's more digital. Like, I have a digital thing that here's my LinkedIn, here's my stuff. I mean, handing out business cards, people just, you're just another number to them, basically, at that. Yeah. It's like if somebody asks you, like, what do you do for a living? And let's say you're a real estate agent, you say, oh, I sell real estate. What does that mean to the person? Nothing. They just put you in the other group of the 100 other realtors they've met, and you stand out at all. Okay. So that's a whole nother story, personalized intro. But I think with, instead of putting the business card in there, you can always put, like, hey, you have a message. Let's say you have a message, and we'll talk about what should their message say that's friendly, but also could be some business, like, hey, we enjoyed meeting with you, blah, 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 blah. I like that. Or say you could have something like that, or you can even have a personal note on it, hey, just feel free to text me or call me at any time, and you write in your cell number, just boom, like it's a customized that they have there. So I like that. So why don't you tell everybody, because they, if they're on YouTube watching this, they just saw that, but for people who are listening maybe on iTunes or something, what did you just show them back of?
What I showed you was a sample of something I might put on the back of a card, branding of my business. This is another version I just did, and I wanted to send it to myself so I could see. So it takes up a 5x7 back of the card. So that's a bit much. I felt it was a bit big when I saw it, so I like that better. It's more subtle. But if I'm sending someone a birthday card, okay, then that's just a birthday card. I put their picture on the inside, in this case, wrote a message, but I didn't brand it. I put birthday balloons on the back because it's about them. It's their birthday. I could show you a million cards.
I love it. And let's say you send a birthday card to, like, a company you're working with, or a CEO or somebody like that, or even let's say you're B2C sales. Let's say you sell cars, or you sell insurance, or homes, or whatever. Do that same picture of them. Happy birthday. And let's say that they've already bought from you. You want to do that. Send it to their birthday. Like, what I don't like, let's say this really annoys the hell out of me, everybody. So let's say I have an insurance policy from State Farm, homeowners insurance, just car insurance. Let's say that. Well, every year I get a standard birthday card that says happy birthday, and that's it. It's just, they send it out to millions of customers, the same exact card. So do you know what I do? I open it, I look at it, I throw it in the trash. I don't even think 10 seconds about it. However, like you said, Janice, if I open that up from State Farm, so State Farm, if you're listening, maybe hire Janice to help you with this. Okay, we all can get better, right? State Farm, you're good. But if I open that up and somehow there was a freaking picture of me and my family there, I'm gonna feel loyal to that company. I'm gonna really think twice about changing from them, even if I get offered a better deal, because of how they make me feel.
That's it right there. How does it make?
How does it make you feel? Like if there's a picture of me and my family, happy birthday, we appreciate your business, make it a great birthday, enjoy your family. If there was something like that, good Lord, the retention that companies would have.
Right. So car dealerships are a perfect example. I bought a new car.
Yeah.
I asked the salesman to take a picture of me behind the car, in the car.
Yeah.
And then I sent him a card with the dealership on the front and my picture of me in my car. And he called me and he said, and brownies, I sent him brownies too. And he said, I should have sent you that card. I said, yeah, you're damn right. You should have. Right. Yeah. He should have sent me the card with the picture of me in my new car.
Let's think about this for a second. Let's say you're a car salesperson. For an example, you brought that up. And let's say that Janice comes and buys the car. I mean, could you imagine what would happen to his or her repeat business if every single customer that buys from him gets a couple of cards a year? So they get, right, let's say maybe even 3 or 4 cards a year. So let's say they get, right after they buy a card, picture of you. Hey, just celebrating you. Like, I can't, I'm so excited. Here's a picture of you buy your car. Like, this car's so amazing. I'm so glad you brought the car. Hit me up anytime. I'm always here. Here's my cell number. You just write it in. No big deal, right? Send it off. Right. And then let's say Christmas is coming up 3 months later and they get a Christmas card, maybe with a picture of them and their, like, the customer's family, not your own family, the salesperson, because nobody cares.
By the way, they have their birth date because they had their driver's license probably when they did a test drive or something. So send them a birthday card too. That's unexpected. So I know people that have.
Yeah. So if they got a card from you, 3 times a year, and I'm assuming, every couple of years they're looking for a different car. Who are they going to think of first?
Right. And by the way, someone comes in and does a test drive, take a picture of them beside the Tesla that they really want, put it on a card and send it to them and say, your dreams can come true. And they're going to have that sitting there. They're going to remember you. Just a test drive. It doesn't cost.
Hey, we enjoyed having you come in to test drive the new XYZ Jaguar or whatever you're selling. You actually look really damn good in this car. I think, maybe a red one or a green one possibly, but hey, hit me up sometime. Here's my cell number. They're going to laugh. They're going to put up there and they're going to think about getting back with you again.
Yes. I think it's all about how you made them feel, right?
Use that really with anything you sold. Like if you sell life insurance, same thing. Everything. You sold, if you're a real estate agent, same thing. I mean, you literally thing that mortgage broker, financial planner, you literally can do that. Any sales, whether you sell business to consumer, business to business, it doesn't matter. I love that. Anything else somebody should know, like strategically, like when should you send them? Should you just send them on the birthday? Should you send them, you gave a few examples, but should they send them on Christmas? Should they send them, when should they not send them maybe?
Okay, so that's a really good question because there's 2 kinds of cards that I like to differentiate. There's what I call the heartfelt prompting card. Okay. And the heartfelt prompting card is, I was thinking of you today, send a card, or I saw that you just had a new baby, or your dad died, or
I just read an article from your company in Forbes the other day, and I was really impressed by this, and this. I just thought you should know, and then you take a picture of the article. Boom. Perfect.
So that's the unexpected prompting cards, and those are gold because they're unexpected. Okay. And then the Christmas cards, the birthday cards, the holiday cards. Just remember, if you're going to send Christmas cards, send them early because yours will be up longer than anybody else's. And if you get too late, then make it a New Year's card.
Yeah.
Do the off holidays instead. Valentine's Day is an absolutely perfect time to send a card. We love our clients. Boom. That's it.
Okay. So if they're a client, like, hey, happy Valentine's Day. Hope you enjoy it with, if you know they're married, I hope you enjoy it with your spouse. If you don't know, just hope you know it with somebody special. And we just want to tell you we love you and appreciate something like that. That is an amazing thing. I would have never even thought about that. Right?
Christmas in July, right now. Christmas in July.
I like.
That's another. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so hey, Janice, thanks for being on. I mean, this is really, really beneficial. I mean, this is very niche specific what you're talking about, but I think it's an important thing for salespeople, entrepreneurs, companies. It doesn't matter. Like anytime you have clients, you want repeat business, or you want even clients you couldn't land and you want them to eventually buy from you. This is definitely going to give you a competitive advantage. Janice, where can they learn more about what you do? Because I know that we're going to have a lot of people on here that are in sales or they own a company like, hey, we need this in our company. How can they learn more about that?
So that would be awesome. So what they can do is they can reach me through janiceporter.com or janice@janiceporter.com. There's a form on there that they can reach out if they want me to do a demo. They can send a free card. We can see what it feels like for them. I always find a way, by the way, to make it work for whatever business it is. So I'm full of ideas and help people create what they need. And it's a lot of fun, but it's all about showing people you care, spreading the kindness.
Good. I love that. Janice, we're going to have 7-level sign up for that because I think that's something we need with our clients as well. I like that. All right. Everybody, thanks for being on today. Make sure you go to janiceporter.com and we'll have that in the show notes. Look, if you're a sales professional, you're a sales executive, you're in sales management, you're a sales leader, you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, you want to get more repeating clients, you want to get your clients to come back and purchase from you, and or if they're in the decision-making process, you want them to purchase from you. I think this is a brilliant idea that
you can also reach out to me on LinkedIn, by the way, and tell me they heard me on your closers or losers.
Perfect. Yeah. And I've heard about this concept before. I just never did I never had met somebody that was an expert in it like you are. So everybody go to janiceporter.com and, take a look, have her do a demo. I know we're going to go through that and we're going to enroll for that as well, because we definitely want that for our clients. We want them to feel the love as well. Thanks, Janice, for being on. That's awesome.
My pleasure.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed these, here's another you can watch right over here. Join our free Sales Revolution group. Click the link below, join us, and we're going to help you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you real soon.